Hey, how's it going everyone? Jack here with a tutorial on how to set up Swiss on your GameCube using a soft mod method, which utilizes a exploit game save. So in this video I'm going to be covering everything that you need to know from playing your backup GameCube games that you have on an SD card all the way to utilizing the GameBoy Interface to play your Game Boy, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance games, with the games looking much better than, say, the official software disc from Nintendo. So what I have right here is all the prerequisites that you're going to need. First things first, you're going to want a hacked Wii. I got mine down there, and the reason I say that is because we're actually going to be using it to transfer some files over. Now, if you haven't already hacked your Wii to include the homebrew channel, I will leave a link to a tutorial down below where you can go and watch that video, and then once you got all that set up, come back here so we can set all this up. You're going to need that SD card that you used to hack your Wii. We're going to be putting the GameCube Memory Card Manager, or GCMM, on that SD card, so keep that in handy. Here's all the other stuff you're going to need. Obviously, you're going to need a GameCube controller for your GameCube console. You're going to need a blank GameCube memory card. Any kind of memory card will do. This one is a aftermarket memory card that I had lying around. I've had this for as long as I've had the GameCube. Doesn't have anything on it. It's completely blank, so I'll show you what we are going to be copying over. You're going to need this little device to play your backup GameCube games and also launch the GBI. This is a SD Gecko, as it's often referred to. It looks like a regular GameCube memory card, but the main difference is, if the camera can focus, there's a SD card slot right there, and you take your SD card, you slide it in, and there you go. This is how you play your backup GameCube games, and also utilize the Game Boy Interface. Now, this tutorial is going to be for people who happen to have a GameCube model DOL-101. You can't really see it down there, but mine's a DOL-101. I don't have a 001, which means I can't use component cables. I can't do all the other cool stuff like an SD to SP2 and everything like that, because this one doesn't have a second serial port and everything like that. So this tutorial is basically going to be for people like me who have a DOL-101 GameCube but still want to play their backups and play Game Boy games on the Game Boy Interface. Once we get all that, and I'll show you how to set up this SD card as well. Now, the last thing that you are going to be needing for this tutorial is a exploitable game. So I picked up 007 Agent Under Fire because this one is the least expensive one on eBay right now. There are other games that allow you to use this exploit. For example, the PAL version of Super Mario Sunshine. You also have Legend of Zelda Wind Waker or Super Smash Bros. Melee or whatever. If you have any of those games, congratulations. You can do this, but if you don't have any of these games and you need to pick one up, I would recommend 007 Agent Under Fire, since this one's the cheapest. And 007 Agent Under Fire seems to be the main soft mod game launch game, whatever that's supposed to mean, Jack. Now, you'll have to pay close attention because what I have here is the player's choice copy, and this is actually going to be important. There's a code on here. It'll say 0-00 if this is the original copy. It'll say 0-01 if it's the player's choice copy. You'll want to keep that in mind when we set this whole thing up. And last but not least, this is optional, but you can pick this up. This is an old school Hori clone. It's a digital GameCube controller for use with the Game Boy player. It's a clone of the Hori pad, and it feels just as good. And the main difference between this and the HoriPad is that this is anywhere between $30 to $40 in comparison to, I don't know, $250 or $300 even for the real HoriPad. So if you're going to be playing Game Boy games, you're going to want to pick this thing up. It feels really nice, and it's actually a very decent third-party controller. I don't normally endorse third-party controllers because they suck, but this one's actually really good. So I would definitely recommend that for all of your Game Boy stuff. And with all that out of the way, I know it was a very lengthy section of prerequisites, but we got all that situated. So let's hop on over to the computer and I'll show you all the things that you need to download, and we'll get this thing going. So let's do it, shall we? Okay, so this is going to be a shoot video off of kind of tutorial for you guys, just so you can see everything all at once, yada yada yada. So I'll leave links to all of these download pages in the description down below. The first one's going to be for Extrems' Swiss for the GameCube. You just scroll down here, and then you're going to want to click on the Swiss R1250.7-zip or whatever revision's the latest at the time of this video being published on YouTube. So you're going to click on that, and then you'll save it, extract it, and you'll get something like this. And I'll show you what to do with all these once we get there. The next page is going to be for Exploit Under Fire version 1.0.1. You're going to just want to go ahead and click on this download. And when you download it, right here, this is what's going to pop up in the 7-zip. So like I said, you'll want to keep in mind which version you're going to want to extract. You can extract all of them for good measure, which is what I did. So you'll have something like this. So the GW7 is the game's code, and then the last letter is the region. So you're going to want to find the E for the East, and 100 is the original black label copy of 007. The 101 file is for the player's choice copy, which is the one that I have. So what you're going to want to do is right-click on this file, or the other file if you have the other version. You're going to click Copy. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your SD card from your Wii, insert it into your computer, there it goes, and if you haven't already, make a folder on the root of the SD card and call it MC Backup. It has to be called MC Backup with no space. I'm pretty sure it is not case sensitive, so just make sure it's named MC Backup with no space. I have it all caps just because that's easier. So you're going to want to click on that, and then you're going to want to, like I said, copy that, and then you're going to paste it in. Now I've already pasted all of them in, so I'm not going to do that, but this is where you would paste them in. And this boot.gci file, this is the hold on, here we go. This is the Swiss file. So in the Swiss folder, you're gonna find a bunch of folders here that are different ways to launch Swiss. What you're gonna want to do is find the GCI folder, click on that, and then right here where it says boot.gci, you're gonna want to copy that. So right click and copy, and then head on over to your SD card, the MC Backup folder, and here's where you would paste it. As you can see, I already have it here, but this is where it would go. So we got all that. So that's all set. The SD card from our Wii is all set and ready to go, we can go ahead and head over to this PC. We can right-click on our SD card and click eject. And that's all ready to go. So we can go ahead and put this back in our Wii, and we'll head over to the Wii in just a second. Okay, so before we do any of the Wii stuff, obviously we need the GameCube Memory Card Manager, or GCMM. So I lied about putting the SD card back in the Wii. We actually still need it. I apologize. I'm very professional at this, as you can see. So that's all popped up and everything. So what you want to do here is, we've got the MC backup folder created. We're going to want to go into the apps folder. And right here where you see GCMM, this is where the GameCube Memory Card Manager is going to go. As you can see, all that stuff is here. I'm actually going to delete this because I'm going to be putting in the new version, which is what is right here. Version 1.5.2, it's the latest as of the recording of this. You're going to want to click on that, and that will start downloading, and then you can just save that wherever. I put it in the downloads folder. I would recommend the desktop, just so it's easier to access. And once you get that downloaded, it's going to show up here, wherever you downloaded it. And then you'll get a folder here from 7-Zip. You're going to want to go in there, click on Wii, click on whichever theme you want. This is the regular theme, this is the dark theme. I want the dark. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to make my way over to... Okay, hold on, let me refresh that. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to navigate to my apps folder on the SD card. I'm going to take this, I'm going to click and drag to extract it. And now it has been extracted to the SD card. We have the GameCube Manager, the GameCube Memory Card Manager on our SD card. Now we are all set with our Wii SD card. We can go ahead and eject it now. We have all the files we need for it. So there we go. Now before we move back over to the Wii, I'm going to show you real quick how to set up this SD card that you're going to put in the SD Gecko. I'll show you how to set up everything for the GameBoy Interface as well as backups. So what I have here is this this Swiss folder gets automatically made once you launch Swiss. This boot.dol is also Swiss, just for backup reasons, and that is located in the Swiss folder as well. If I go back real quick to Swiss, it's under dol, and it's right here. So you would just copy this to the root of the SD card and then change the name to boot. And in here is the GameBoy Interface. Now here is the download page. You just come over here. Oh, you can't see it. Whoopsie. Okay. Over here, it says download main package. So you just click on that, and then you'll get a zip folder that you just extract. I'll leave a link to 7-Zip in the description down below as well, because I highly recommend using that. And then that's all set. And then you would just take the contents of the GameBoy Interface folder and you would bring them over to the root of your SD card. And then everything would just lie in here, and all the stuff that you need to run it is all there and ready to go. And if you have any GameCube games, any backups that you have that you want to put on the SD card, you can put them right here on the root of the SD card, or if you want to be neat like me, you can put them in a games folder, and in there they'll automatically be sorted alphabetically. So we've got quite the list here. We got Crash Nitro Kart. There's some F-Zero GX. This is SpongeBob movie game. Sorry. We got Pac-Man World 2. We've got an essential here, Super Smash Bros. Melee. Sonic Mega Collection and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3. So we got a pretty solid list of GameCube games on there, and as you can see, it took up quite a bit of the 16 gigabyte SD card that I'm using. By the way, I should mention, before doing any of this, make sure that your SD cards are formatted to FAT32. Otherwise, the GameCube will not recognize the SD card at all. The same goes for your Wii SD card. I mean, if you did the homebrew channel tutorial, you have already formatted it to FAT32. But just in case you didn't, make sure it's been formatted to FAT32. Otherwise, it will not work. You'll need FAT32 GUI if your SD card is larger than 32 gigabytes, at least on Windows. So just keep that in mind. But once that is all set, we can right-click and eject. And then this SD card is just going to be plugged into this SD Gecko. So you just plug it in like so. Just like that. And then that will be plugged into memory card slot B once everything is all set and ready to go. And on the PC side, that's really it. That's all we have to do on the PC side, so now it's all on the consoles. So let's head on over to the Wii and set up our memory card. Okay guys, so now that we've got our SD card plugged into the Wii, our Wii SD card, that's got all the files that we need and the GCMM, we're going to take our GameCube memory card that we're going to be putting the exploit and Swiss on. We're going to plug this into either slot A or slot B on the Wii. Now I already have a memory card in slot A, so I'm just going to be plugging it into slot B. But if you're going to plug it into slot A, then just replace B with A in this part of the tutorial. So pardon my head and the rest of my body real quick as I plug this in. Let's go ahead and turn the console on. Press A to continue. Turn this up so that way you guys can hear it somewhat. I gotta turn on my wireless sensor bar over here. I'm gonna navigate to the homebrew channel. Press start. And right here, the GCMM, there it is. So just click that and then select load. Now what I like to do is I like to turn off my controller, and I like to take my GameCube controller and just go ahead and use that. So I've got that plugged in right now, as you can see right here. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and it says select your device, Wii front SD slot or USB storage device. We're going to want to select A on Wii front SD slot. So just press A, and there we go. Now, just for good measure, I'm going to go ahead and hold L and then press Z to format the memory card just to be 100% sure that nothing's on it. So as you can see, it says please select a memory card slot. B equals slot B, A equals slot A. My memory card that I'm using is going to be in slot B, so I'm going to press B. And then it'll ask if you are sure that you want to format it to slot B. A word of advice: if you have anything that you care about on that memory card that you're formatting, back it up. But once you're all set, just hit B. It'll give you the warning. Go ahead and press Z or 2 on the Wii remote, depending on what you're using. And then once it's formatted, go ahead and press A. Okay, so once we got the memory card formatted, we can go ahead and press the X button on our GameCube controller to restore. We're going to restore 2 GCI files onto our memory card. So we're just going to go ahead and press X. And like I said, my memory card that I'm going to be putting the memory card I'm going to be putting the exploit onto is slot B. So I'm going to press B. And we're going to scroll down to, first one we're going to copy is the boot.gci. This is the Swiss GCI that the memory card will boot up once 007 crashes. So I'm going to go ahead and press A once it's highlighted. Boot.gci. Again, make sure you rename it to boot. Press A. If it isn't already named boot.gci, make sure you call it boot.gci. So it'll take a while because, as you can see, it's 108 blocks. So it's going to take a little while. Don't worry, the GCMM did not freeze. So don't worry about that. Let's just give it a few more seconds here. Like I said, don't worry, the Wii did not freeze. It's a big file, like I said, 108 blocks. And as you can see, it's all set and ready to go, so we just press A to continue. It'll back us out to the main screen here, and we'll just do the same thing. Press X and B, and then we're going to scroll down to GW7E_V100 if you have an original copy of 007, or 101. 101, like I said, 100 is for the Black Label version. 101 is for the Player's Choice version. My copy of 007 is the Player's Choice version, so I'm going to select that one. So just press A, then press A to continue. And with that, we are done with the Wii. So we can go ahead and turn off the Wii and head on over to the GameCube. Okay guys, now we're going to start up the GameCube. So we're going to take our GameCube memory card that we just made. This one has the 007 exploit and the Swiss boot on there. We're also going to take our SD Gecko, which has our GameCube backups and the GBI on here. Now what we're going to do, first things first, is we're going to plug our exploit memory card into slot A, and we're going to plug our SD Gecko into slot B. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the console. And once that's all loaded up, we're going to go ahead and we're going to take 007 Agent Under Fire. I'm going to go ahead and insert it into our GameCube. Press up, A, then start. And then it'll go through its initial boot up. We can't skip the logos, so alright, now we can start skipping. So we skip the opening cutscene, and it checks the memory card. And once the disclaimer goes away, you see press start, so we press start. Now the way you launch Swiss is you navigate to load mission, you press A, it says using memory card slot A, you just press A on that, the game will crash, and then Swiss will load up. And as you can see, it automatically detected our SD Gecko, so now all of our stuff is located right here. Here's our games directory, here's our GameBoy Interface directory. Now, what you can do here is you can go ahead and eject the 007 disk, because we no longer need it. You can also go ahead and take your exploit memory card out of slot A. So that's all set. And what I like to do here now is I like to take my regular memory card that I use for all my saves. I'm just going to put it in slot A to replace the exploit memory card. So now we can... Oh, by the way, you should use the D-pad and not the control stick, because if you use the control stick, Yeah, it's just going to do that. So with the D-pad, we can navigate to Games, press A, and you saw on the bottom left it said Loading, and here's all our games. Here's all the backups. Let's go ahead and load up Super Smash Bros. Melee. So we press A, and then you can mess with some settings if you want. You can leave everything at default. I know it says audio streaming no, but don't worry, it will have audio. Let's just go ahead and press A. The video mode is set to 480i because I'm using an S-video cable. And then just give that a few seconds. Screen will go green for a moment. And there is Super Smash Bros. Melee. And there you go. There you go. There's Super Smash Bros. Melee. Now let me show you real quick. Down below, there's the GameCube. I'm going to open up the disc tray just so you guys can see that I don't actually have Super Smash Bros. Melee inside. So I open that up and there you go. No disc. The game is being loaded on the SD card. Alright, and there you go. That is how you play your GameCube backups on the GameCube using an SD Gecko and using a exploitable memory card with 007 Agent Under Fire. And there you go. Now, because this is a soft mod, that means that every time you turn on your GameCube and you want to load up Swiss, you will have to put in 007 first with your exploitable memory card. So, I've already done all that. So we just turn the GameCube back on. And I have plugged in the old school Hori clone because now I'm going to show you I'm going to show you the GameBoy Interface now. So again, we just go through all this. Hello. Hello, reflection on the TV. So again, just press start. Go to load mission, press A again, and then Swiss will load up. So I'm going to remove the memory card again. And I'm also going to take the disc out, because like I said, you don't need either of those anymore once Swiss loads up. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to take our controller, navigate to GameBoy Interface, you're going to press A, and you're going to find the DAW file. So you can use either the regular version or you can use the Speedrunners version, which is what SR stands for, down below. So that's the one that I use. So I'm just going to press A, and you can leave all this at default if you want. 480i 60. If you want a force progressive, you can change this to 480p 60. I'm going to leave it at 480i 60 because I have a RetroTink 5X that deinterlaces with motion adaptive deinterlacing, so I don't necessarily worry about that. But to launch the GBI, you just press start. And there you go. I got my Easy Flash plugged into the Game Boy player. So I'm just going to select Game Boy Advance, and I've got every Game Boy game on this micro SD card that I've got in the flash cart. So let's go ahead and go down to L to M, because why not? And let's scroll through here. Let's see. Yeah, let's do Mario Kart Super Circuit. Now, on the Easy Flash, what I do is I hold L when I press A on clean boot, and holding L launches a multi-boot version. What that means is if you hold L, you can utilize all the regular Game Boy plugins like link cables and e-card readers and stuff like that. Basically, it runs like the actual Game Boy cartridge. So just press A while holding L, and I let go when I see the Game Boy logo. And we'll jump into a race real quick. So as you can see, this is Mario Kart Super Circuit. And the quality of the Game Boy interface is greater than that of the Game Boy Player official boot disc from Nintendo. And in fact, I'm gonna zoom out just a bit, and I'm gonna load my profile that I made on the RetroTink 5X. There we go. That zooms in pretty good. The edges are a bit cut off, but that's no big deal. So let's jump into a race on Peach Circuit. Well guys, hopefully you found this tutorial helpful, and if you did, make sure that you leave a like down below. And share the video around with your friends as well. Thank you all for watching, and now you should be ready to play Game Boy Advance games as well as your GameCube backups on your GameCube through an SD card using the SD Gecko and Swiss. My name is Jack Nitro, and if you have any questions, post them down below in the comments. I will reply to them as quickly as I possibly can. But anyway guys, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next video.